Hey everybody, welcome again to Get Back to the Wrestling. My name is Luke Giaconetti. What I have here is a big box of wrestling stuff from my brother, our co-host, Jason Giaconetti. And you didn't tell me exactly what was in it. I have an idea on some of it, but not all of it. So we're going to open it up and take a look. I have already used my trusty Victorinox Swiss Champ to open this up. My brother and I both take after our father, and we like to tape things very well. So let's open this box and let's see what's inside. First off, of course, got a little bubble wrap. This is the kind you can't pop, so I'm sure my kids will be disappointed about that. So first up, who is this here? We have, this is a Remco, AWA Rick Martel. You can tell it's Rick from the stylish haircut and the little grin he's got there. Ricky Martel was one of the big baby faces in AWA. One of my favorites. I always like Rick Martel, as anyone who's listened to Get Back to the Wrestling knows. I like Rick Martel. Very cool. Now, a lot of course, the AWA guys all have pretty much the same body, different colored trunks and different heads. So Ricky should display very nicely. I've got a few other AWAs. I have, actually all from my brother. I've got the Road Warriors, and I have Larry Zbyszko. So this would be a nice one to go with Larry Legend. All right, so put Ricky over there. Now, we've got a few classic Hasbros in this. So let's pull those out and see who we got here. So who's up first? This is, bubble wrap off, this is Demolition Smash. Very, very nice figure. Now, Smash was one of the Hasbro figures Jason and I actually had when we were kids. We never had that many of them. We were more the LJN era, just because we were a few years older, I think, than the target audience. But we had a few, and Smash was one of them. Let's see. Yeah, there's his power punch there. I was always a big fan of Demolition. You know, Jay has always been a big Road Warriors fan, so I guess that kind of makes sense. And I was and Axe and Smash were just two great figures and two classics from that first wave. Very nice here. And see, very cool face paint. Got his tongue sticking out. He's ready to go, ready to beat somebody up. Very neat. Okay, now put Axe or Smash over here. Who is in here? This was one that I did not realize that this Hasbro figure existed until very recently, and I was very happy when Jay told me he had gotten a hold of this, and it is El Matador, Tito Santana. Now, why Tito never got a figure as just Tito Santana, I don't know, but he probably could have deserved one, but it's very nice to get a figure here, even if it is in his later Matador guys. Now, Hasbro fans can tell this is a reuse of the Jake the Snake Roberts body, my shirt notwithstanding. And you got the power punch, pull punch back, boom, just like that. So very nice. It's a nice face sculpt. It really does kind of look like Tito in the kind of cartoonish style of these Hasbros, and it does have his hair tied back. You can see that his hair is tied back in a ponytail like he wore when he grew his hair out to be El Matador. And I see what using a Jake Roberts body is in addition to the power punch. You got his arm bent like this, so if we bring Smash in here, put your hand down, Smash. You got his forearm. You can do the flying forearm, the El Paso del Muerte is what it was called when he was the Matador. So that's very cool. I really do like this figure. I'm glad that Tito's in my collection. Everybody knows, listen to the show, I'm a big fan of Tito Santana. So this is very, very cool. So who else is in here? Here we go. This is another one that we had when we were kids. And this is the first release of the Ultimate Warrior in green trunks, and he's got white boots and his green and white tassels and some pink tassels on his arms, and pink and white face paint. Now, there are some folks who don't like the jumpers, and that's what he is, because his legs are molded together, and then you push down on his back, and he jumps. I agree. I mean, the jumpers are not always the best style. They don't have, to me, they're not quite as dynamic as some of the other ones, but in this case, because this was the Warrior that we had when we were kids, I've always been partial to this version of the Warrior. I love the colors. I love the look on his face. Definitely an intense Ultimate Warrior look. I do like he's got the little Warrior logo on the back of his trunks. He is wearing a weight belt. There's some speculation, of course, that this was supposed to be a molded-on championship belt. They went with the weight belt instead. So a very nice and very, very kind of classic Ultimate Warrior figure. So let's put Warrior over here with the rest. Who else is in here? Here we go. This is one Jay had told me about. And this is Bushwhacker Luke. One of my namesake The only other wrestling Luke out there before Luke Gallows that I was aware of, anyway. And ironically, my good friend and friend of the show, Bob Hansen, former New Wave Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion, trained by Alfred Waltzman, he called me Cousin Luke pretty much the entire time that he's known me, based entirely on this on the Bushwhackers. So very neat. I'll have to get Butch to go with him at some point, but I love that he does the actual little Bushwhacker thing here. It's just very, very cool figure. I love the camo deco on his pants. Great face sculpt with the one tooth and the big nose. Very... Always a fan of the Bushwhackers just as a fun team when I was a kid. It wasn't until I was older that, I started seeing their matches as like the Sheep Herders and some of the really, really violent stuff that they did as the Sheep Herders. But very, very neat. We got one more Hasbro in here, and it is another personal favorite of mine. This is one that, I only had two as a kid. It was Jake Roberts and version 1 of the Big Boss Man. Now this particular sample, very nice action there. He does not have his nightstick, but he has to get a hole in his fist for the nightstick. So he's wearing his sunglasses. This is clearly a heel Boss Man. The second version of the Boss Man, I always figured kind of was a babyface Boss Man. But I'm a big fan of this figure. I love the deco, classic Boss Man. It actually has, I don't think it's tampograph, but painted on there, Big Boss Man. It may be too small to see here. It's got his insignia, his rank on his back. The strap actually goes all the way around. The collar lays on top of the strap. I think that's actually a quite nice little bit of molded detail. And it does look like Ray Traylor. So, especially since he did wear his sunglasses. And if you look at a lot of the merch for the Boss Man when he was being his heel run, he was almost always shown in his sunglasses. So I thought that was a nice choice here. I really like this figure. I have to get a nightstick for him at some point, but very cool. One of my favorites. Glad to have it back in the collection. All right, what else do we have in here? Yes, Jay told me about this. It is the WWF Hardcore Championship. Now, this particular title, this one is actually going into the Fig Fed, because right now in their small Fig Fed, my kids actually use a Jack-specific classic $1 Million Man's $1 Million Belt as their title belt. So we're going to use the Hardcore title instead, so the kids will appreciate that one. All right. Let's see what else we have in here. We have a DVD. Let's pull that out. What is this? ECW, The Best of Cactus Jack. This is from Pioneer Entertainment. Wow, Best of Cactus Jack, the ECW years. One disc here. I remember watching Jack in ECW. I was working with Mikey Whipwreck and stuff like that. My friend Bob, who I mentioned already, is a huge Cactus Jack fan. He really loved that run, so I was very interested in that. This should be a lot of fun. Mick Foley actually is going to be at SC Comic Con in Greenville, South Carolina, March, I think it's 9th and 10th, that second weekend, I guess, in March. I may bring, I have a copy of Foley's first book. I may bring him that for him to sign, maybe bring this for him to sign as well, so very cool. Okay, what else do we have in here? We have a book. And what is this book? Let's pull this out. This is The Road Warriors, Danger, Death, and the Rush of Wrestling by Joe Animal Laurinaitis with Andrew William Wright, and foreword by Precious Paul Ellering instead. I know Jay has talked about this book many times. I know he's a big fan of it. Of course, I said Jason's a huge fan of the Road Warriors. This is, I always remember the Road Warriors. Everywhere they go, they made money. That was from I don't know if that was a shoot interview or what this was. We went to Japan and we made money. And we worked the Mid-South and we made money. And there's some great pictures in here just from flipping through, but this should be a lot of fun. And Animal also going to be at SC Comic Con. So I'm going to probably get to go see Animal, probably now bring the book for him to sign. So that'll be really cool. Let's see if there's anything else in the box. And there's some other non-wrestling related stuff, so we'll just leave that in here. And so let's take a look real quick. So we had the Bossman, we had El Matador, it was Flying Forearm, that's the end of that, and Demolition Smash. There he goes. Okay, another tag team specialist here with Bushwhacker Luke. You can't just go bushwhacking through the forest. The Ultimate Warrior, very cool there. And, of course, our AWA Rick Martel. to go with our other AWAs, and a DVD and some books, or a book and DVD, I should say. So plenty to keep me occupied here at Get Back to the Wrestling Southern Headquarters. Please like, share, retweet, comment on the video. If you like us, please subscribe to our channel. You can always check us out on Facebook. Just search for the Get Back to the Wrestling group. You can follow us on Twitter at GBTTW Podcast. As always, our podcast itself is found at twotruefreaks.com. And so if you're watching this, you're on our YouTube channel, so please like and comment and subscribe. That's all I've got for now. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you at the matches.